Hello ladies, today and tomorrow we are going to be looking at using the unitary method to answer proportion questions. This means writing something in the form 1 to n. I'll show you now.
The unitary method is a problem-solving method where we find out the value of one unit. We would write that in the form 1 to n. 1 to n, where n is any number. For example, if we knew that 5 apples cost £1, we could then use the unitary method to get it into the form 1 to n to find how much one apple is worth. The ratio would be 5 to 100, 100p. If we divide both sides of our ratio by 5, 5 divided by 5 is 1, which is the first part of our unitary method. The n is what we're going to find out here. 100 divided by 5 is 20. Now we know that one apple costs 20p. Now this could be really useful for us because now we could answer any question that asks us the cost of a number of apples. So I may ask you, how much do 7 apples cost? Well, we know now that one apple costs 20p. So 7 apples is 7 lots of 20p, which would be £1.40. Let's practice putting some ratios in the form 1 to n. We want to get this first number to be a number 1. So we just divide by this number on both sides of the ratio. 6 divided by 6 we know gives us 1. 18 divided by 6 gives us 3. So 6 to 18 in the form 1 to n is 1 to 3. Let's have a look at part B. We want to get it into the form 1 to a number. To get from 7 to 1, we divide by 7. Because we divided by 7 on this side, we must divide by 7 on this side. 28 divided by 7 is 4. And for C, again, we want 1 on the left-hand side of our ratio. We divide by 4 to get here, and on this side, we will also need to divide by 4. Here, the answer is 5.5. Don't be afraid of getting a decimal in your answer.
Here's an example of a question we can answer by using the unitary method. If we work out how much Joe gets paid for 1 hour, then we can work out how much he would get paid for 3 hours. Pause the video and have a go.
The question tells us that Joe works for 8 hours and gets paid £48. We can write this as a ratio of 8 to 48. We want to know how much Joe would get paid for 3 hours. So what we can do in the middle here is use the unitary method to find 1 hour. So we use the method that we did before. To get from 8 to 1, we divide by 8. So we must do the same to the other side of our ratio. 48 divided by 8 is 6. So we now know that Joe gets paid £6 per hour. We can use this to work out how much he would get paid for 3 hours. 1 times 3 is 3. So 6 times 3 is 18. Joe would get paid £18 for 3 hours work.
Now try using the same method to answer this question. Again, pause the video and the answer will come up next.
Here we know that 6 cartons costs £5.40 and we want to know how much 5 cartons cost. Again, we use a unitary method and put this ratio in the form 1 to n. We divide both sides by this number here, which is 6. 6 divided by 6 gave us the 1. £5.40 divided by 6 gives us 90p. And then all we need to do to get how much 5 cartons costs is times by this 5 here on both sides. So 5 cartons costs £4.50.
Now try this one using the same method. Answers coming up afterwards. Here I'm writing out the ratio 5 to 3 pounds. I'm then going to divide both sides of the ratio by 5 to get my unitary method 1 to 0.6. I'm then going to times both sides of my ratio by 12 to work out the cost of 12 stamps, and that is £7.20. Have a go at this last one here. Here again I'm writing out my ratio 4 to 140, dividing by 4 to get the number of passengers I can fit on one boat, which as you can see is 35, and then I times both sides by 7 to find the total number of passengers we can fit on 7 boats, and that gives us an answer of 245. Hopefully you now feel confident having a go at these questions yourselves. Pause the video and try these 10 questions. My worked answers will come up afterwards, so make sure you pause and have a go before moving on to marking your work in green pen. If you have any questions, please send me a message and I'll try and help you. Here are the answers. Mark your work in green pen. Be sure to show your workings. If you haven't got these on your work, add them now. Give yourselves a score out of 10 for these questions. Now we're ready to move on to the next type of proportion question. Here we can use the unitary method to convert between different types of currencies. Have a go at this question. What do you think you might need to do?
The question tells us that the current exchange rate from pounds to Australian dollars is $1 to $2.10. So for every pound, we would exchange that for 2.1 Australian dollars. We want to exchange £50. So we can use our unitary method, which we already have here, 1 to n. We say, how do we get from £1 to £50? Well, we would multiply by 50. So all we need to do is multiply this side of the ratio by 50 as well. 2.1 times 50 is 105.
Now I've talked you through the method, can you apply it to this question?
Here we have an exchange rate of £1 to €1.40. Again, we have our 1 to n ratio already. We want to convert £200 into euros. So all we need to do is multiply both sides by 200, which gives us 280 euros.
Here is another use of the unitary method. When you're in the supermarket, you may want to apply this. If you use the unitary method, you can see which is the best buy. Have a go at this question. Can you use the method to help you work out which is the best deal?
Here we want to work out the best deal. Is it 4 for £3.40 or 2 for £1.75? Again, ratios can help us. Let's put them both into a ratio first. This one is 4 to 3.40. This one is 2 to 1.75. Now we can use the unitary method and put both of these in the form 1 to n to see how much one would cost, or we could see that 2 is half of 4. So we could just half this ratio by dividing both parts by 2, which would give us 2 to 170. Now because this first part of the ratio is the same, we can compare this bit. Would you rather pay £1.70 for 2 or £1.75 for 2? I'm going for this one. So this is the better buy.
Can you use the method I've just shown you to answer this question?
Let's have a go at this one. Which is the better deal? 3 for £3.20 or 2 for £2.10? Here, 2 is not a factor of 3. So putting these into a ratio and then into the form 1 to n will allow us to compare those two ratios. So let's put them into ratios first. 3 to 3.20, 2 to 210. Let's put this into the form 1 to n first. We divide by 3 this side, so we divide by 3 this side, and that gives us 1.066 recurring. Let's have a go at this one. Divide by 2, divide by 2, 1.05. So you can see there's not much in it actually, but this one is cheaper by 1p. So this is the better buy.
Now have a go at these questions in your exercise book, remembering to use the method I've shown you and showing your workings. Please take a picture of your work and send it to me so I can mark it for you. I have also given you some harder questions in a separate document on Show My Homework. You might also want to have a go at those too. Any questions, let me know. Speak to you soon, girls. Bye-bye.